You can give a woman more attention than every other man in her phone, and still be the man she forgets first. And that's the part nobody wants to hear. Because most men think attraction works like a transaction. Give her more compliments. Text her more. Buy her things. Always be available. Always agree. Always show her how much you care. And eventually, she'll realize your value. But human psychology doesn't work that way. Because attention is not the same thing as emotional impact. You can talk to someone for 3 hours and leave absolutely nothing behind. Or you can have a 10-minute conversation, and somehow she thinks about it that night. She remembers something you said. She replays a moment. She wonders what you meant. She becomes curious about you. And that's the difference. People don't always remember how much attention you gave them. They remember how they felt when they were around you. Now, before we go any further, understand something important. This isn't about manipulating a woman. It's not about playing childish games. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not. And it's definitely not about making someone emotionally dependent on you. It's about understanding why certain men create curiosity, attraction, and emotional impact, while other men can give a woman everything and still become forgettable. Because attraction isn't created by pressure. It's created through a combination of curiosity, emotional contrast, confidence, novelty, and genuine connection. And today, I'm going to break down 7 psychological triggers that can make your presence more memorable, without turning you into someone you're not. But number 7 is the one most men completely misunderstand. Because it has almost nothing to do with what you do to her, and everything to do with what you build within yourself. So let's begin. Trigger 1, scarcity. Stop making yourself too available. Let's start with something uncomfortable. If you are available to someone every second of every day, your attention eventually becomes predictable. And predictable attention can lose its psychological impact. Think about it. Imagine your phone sends you one notification every day. Eventually, you barely notice it. Now imagine you receive something unexpected after several days. Suddenly, your attention moves toward it. That's the basic psychological principle behind scarcity. But here's where men get it completely wrong. Scarcity does not mean ghosting her. It doesn't mean intentionally waiting 6 hours to answer a text. It doesn't mean pretending you're busy when you're sitting alone staring at your phone. That's not confidence. That's theater. Real scarcity is much simpler. You have a life that doesn't revolve around her. You have work, goals, friends, fitness, family, interests, projects, a direction. And because your life already has meaning, you don't need to manufacture distance. You naturally have it. And that's powerful. Because when a woman realizes, this man likes me, but his entire world doesn't collapse when I'm unavailable, something changes. Your attention becomes valuable because it isn't unlimited. You're not withholding it. You're simply not wasting it. And there's another important psychological effect. When someone isn't constantly present, the brain gets room to fill in the gaps. She may wonder, what is he doing? What is he working on? Why hasn't he texted? What is his life actually like? Curiosity begins. But remember, the goal isn't to make her anxious. The goal is to make your attention meaningful. There's a huge difference. A man who disappears to create insecurity is playing games. A man who is genuinely busy building a meaningful life is simply living. And ironically, the second man is usually far more attractive. Because he isn't trying to become valuable. He is already occupied with becoming valuable. Trigger 2, mystery. Don't hand her your entire story in one night. Now let's talk about mystery. One of the fastest ways to kill curiosity is to answer every question before curiosity has a chance to grow. You meet her. And suddenly she knows everything. Your childhood. Your entire dating history. Your biggest insecurities. Every achievement. Every failure. Every future plan. Every opinion. Every detail. 3 conversations later. There's nothing left to discover. And this is where mystery matters. Mystery doesn't mean lying. It doesn't mean hiding your intentions. It doesn't mean acting cold. It means allowing discovery to happen gradually. Think about a movie. If the entire ending is revealed in the first 5 minutes, why would you keep watching? The same principle can apply to human connection. Give her something real. But leave room for another conversation. If she asks, "What did you do this weekend?" You don't need to give her a chronological report. You can simply say, "I had an interesting weekend. I'll tell you about it when I see you." Now you've created curiosity without manipulation. Or if she asks about one of your interests, don't just give her the Wikipedia version. Tell her why it matters to you. Give her a piece of your world. Then let the conversation continue. Because mystery isn't about being unavailable. It's about having depth. The more layers your life genuinely has, the more there is to discover. And that's why developing yourself is such a powerful form of attraction. Learn something. Build something. Travel. Read. Create. Develop a skill. Have opinions. Have stories. Have experiences. Because the most attractive mystery isn't, "I wonder what he's hiding." It's, "I wonder what else there is to discover about him." That's a completely different energy. Trigger 3, emotional contrast. Give her a moment she actually feels. Here's where most men become forgettable. They try to have the perfect conversation. They're polite, agreeable, safe, predictable. "How was your day?" "Good." "That's nice." "What did you do?" "Nothing much." And the conversation slowly dies. Why? Because information isn't the same as emotion. You can talk about facts all night and create no emotional memory. But ask a question that reaches somewhere deeper, and suddenly the conversation changes. Instead of, "What do you do for fun?" ask, "What's something you loved doing as a kid that you completely stopped doing?" Instead of, "Where do you want to travel?" ask, "If money wasn't a problem, where would you disappear to for a month?" Instead of, "What's your favorite movie?" ask, "What's a movie that changed the way you looked at relationships?" Now you're not collecting information. You're exploring her inner world. And when she gives you an answer, don't immediately turn it back toward yourself. Listen. Let her finish. Pause. Ask another question. Let the moment breathe. Because sometimes the most memorable part of a conversation isn't the clever thing you said. It's the feeling. "He actually understood what I meant." That's emotional connection. And here's something else. Emotional contrast matters. A conversation can move from playful to serious, to teasing, to thoughtful, back to playful. That range creates richness. You're not trying to create drama. You're creating emotional texture. And that's why some conversations stay in our minds long after they've ended. Not because every sentence was brilliant, but because something inside us moved. Trigger 4, novelty. Break the automatic script. Now let's talk about unpredictability. But we're going to define it correctly. Because there is a terrible version of unpredictability. Hot one day, cold the next. Love bombing, then disappearing. making her jealous, ignoring messages, creating confusion. That's not attraction. That's emotional instability. Healthy unpredictability is different. It's novelty. You don't always do the same thing. You don't always have the same conversation. You don't always go to the same place. You introduce new experiences. Imagine every date is dinner, coffee, walk, good night. Repeat. Eventually, the brain starts predicting the experience. But imagine one evening you say, "Forget the usual plan. I found something interesting. Come with me." And you take her somewhere new. Maybe it's an unusual restaurant, a bookstore, an art event, a night market, a scenic location, a completely different experience. Now she associates you with discovery. And discovery is memorable. This is why novelty can strengthen attraction. Not because you're keeping her confused, but because you're creating experiences worth remembering. And here's the key. Don't become unpredictable in your character. Be predictable in your integrity, but unpredictable in your experiences. She should know you will respect her. She should know you'll keep your word. She should know you're emotionally stable. But she shouldn't know exactly what interesting thing you'll suggest next. That's the sweet spot. Stable man. Unexpected experiences. That's far more powerful than manufactured mystery. Trigger 5, confidence. Stop asking her to decide your value. Now we're getting into the foundation underneath everything. Confidence. But real confidence is often misunderstood. It isn't walking into a room pretending you're the most important person there. It isn't speaking loudly. It isn't dominating every conversation. And it certainly isn't acting like you don't care. Real confidence is quieter. It's the ability to remain yourself without constantly checking whether everyone approves of you. Think about a man who says something, and then immediately looks at her face to see whether she liked it. He makes a joke, then studies her reaction. He sends a message, then checks his phone every 30 seconds. She takes longer to reply. And suddenly his entire mood changes. That's not attraction. That's dependence on external validation. Now compare that with a man who can say what he genuinely thinks. Listen to her perspective. And remain completely comfortable if she disagrees. That's different. He doesn't need to win every interaction. He doesn't need to prove he's impressive. He doesn't need her approval to feel valuable. And ironically, that creates something much more attractive. Emotional freedom. You're not thinking, "How do I make her like me?" You're thinking, "Let's see if we actually like each other." That's a massive psychological shift. Because attraction becomes healthier when you're evaluating compatibility rather than begging for validation. And here's something you should remember. Confidence isn't believing every woman will want you. Confidence is knowing you'll be okay if one doesn't. That's real strength. Trigger 6, create space for her to invest. Here's one most men completely overlook. If you do everything, she has nothing to contribute. You start every conversation. You plan every date. You ask every question. You carry every interaction. You solve every problem. You give all the attention. And eventually, the relationship becomes something you are doing to her, rather than something you're building together. Healthy attraction needs reciprocity. Give her room to participate. Let her suggest something. Let her initiate sometimes. Let her choose the restaurant. Ask, "What would you want to do?" Give her opportunities to contribute. And watch what happens. When someone invests time, effort, thought, and emotion into a connection, the connection becomes more personally meaningful. This isn't manipulation. It's simply reciprocity. Imagine you build something with someone. You paint half the wall. You both look at it and think, "We made this." Now imagine you paint the entire wall while she watches. Which one feels more personally meaningful? The first. Because she participated. That's the psychological principle here. Don't carry the entire relationship on your back. Create space for her to walk toward you too. Because if you're always moving toward her, you'll never know whether she was actually moving toward you. And that's one of the most important truths in dating. Trigger 7, emotional gravity. Become the man she associates with a feeling. And now, the final trigger. This is the one that makes all the others almost irrelevant if you don't understand it. You don't want to become the man she simply remembers. You want to become the man she associates with a specific emotional experience. Maybe she feels understood around you. Maybe she feels playful. Maybe she feels adventurous. Maybe she feels calm. Maybe she feels challenged in a good way. Maybe she feels like she can be herself. That's emotional association. Think about certain songs. You hear one song, and suddenly you're back in a specific year. A specific place. A specific person. A specific feeling. The song didn't create the memory. The emotion attached to the memory did. People can work the same way. She walks past a restaurant and remembers your conversation. She hears a joke and thinks of something you said. She sees something you once talked about, and suddenly you're in her mind. That's what emotional gravity looks like. And here's the paradox. You don't create emotional gravity by desperately trying to make someone think about you. You create it by having meaningful experiences with them. Be present. Listen. Challenge respectfully. Laugh. Share something genuine. Create moments. Have your own life. Be emotionally grounded. And then leave. Let the experience exist. Don't immediately flood her phone afterward trying to keep the feeling alive. Sometimes the moment becomes more powerful when it has room to breathe. The real secret: stop trying to make her obsessed. Now here's where I want to completely flip the message. You started this video wanting to know, how do I make her think about me non-stop? But maybe that's the wrong question. Because the moment your goal becomes controlling someone's thoughts, you've already lost something important. You don't need to make her obsessed. You need to become someone worth remembering. That's different. One is manipulation. The other is self-development. One asks, how can I control her reaction? The other asks, how can I become more interesting, grounded, emotionally intelligent, and genuinely memorable? And that second question changes everything. Build a life she can be curious about. Develop confidence that doesn't depend on her. Create experiences instead of routines. Listen instead of performing. Have boundaries. Have standards. Have purpose. Give her space to choose you. And most importantly, don't abandon yourself trying to become attractive to someone else. Because the strongest attraction isn't created when you become exactly what she wants. It's created when two people meet, and both discover something genuinely valuable in each other. So the next time you wonder, why isn't she thinking about me? Don't send another message. Don't buy another gift. Don't manufacture jealousy. Don't disappear for 3 days because some dating guru told you to. Instead, look at your own life. Ask yourself, am I interesting when nobody is watching? Do I have a purpose beyond getting her attention? Can I be alone without feeling incomplete? Can I create connection without trying to control it? Can I walk away from someone who doesn't choose me without losing myself? Because here's the irony. The man who desperately wants to be unforgettable often becomes forgettable. So the next time you wonder, why isn't she thinking about me? Don't send another message. Don't buy another gift. Don't manufacture jealousy. Don't disappear for 3 days because some dating guru told you to. Instead, look at your own life. Ask yourself, am I interesting when nobody is watching? Do I have a purpose beyond getting her attention? Can I be alone without feeling incomplete? Can I create connection without trying to control it? Can I walk away from someone who doesn't choose me without losing myself? Because here's the irony. The man who desperately wants to be unforgettable often becomes forgettable. But the man who becomes deeply involved in building his own life, developing his character, creating meaningful experiences. Now I want you to do something different. Don't comment. Great video. Don't comment. Thanks. I want you to answer one question honestly. Which one are you missing right now? 1. Scarcity. 2. Mystery. 3. Emotional connection. 4. Novelty. 5. Confidence. 6. Reciprocity. 7. Emotional gravity. Drop the number in the comments. And then tell me why. Because I want the comments on this video to become a conversation, not a collection of empty compliments. And if you're watching this because there's one woman you can't stop thinking about, here's your challenge. Stop asking how to make her think about you. For the next 7 days, work on becoming someone whose life is worth thinking about. And if this video changed the way you understand attraction, subscribe to Psyche Sync. Because the next level isn't learning more tricks. It's understanding the psychology behind attraction, attachment, emotional distance, human behavior, and relationships, without losing yourself in the process. And if you know a man who is currently sending a woman 12 messages because she hasn't replied to the first one, send him this video. He doesn't need another pickup line. He needs this lesson. And remember, you don't become unforgettable by demanding someone's attention. You become unforgettable by creating moments, living with purpose, and becoming the kind of person whose absence is naturally felt. Decode human nature. Master yourself. This is Psyche Sync.